Hey coding buds. So basically in today's GFG POTD we have a problem kth element in matrix. So basically it is a medium level problem, and as the problem statement is given a matrix mat of size n cross n where each row and column is sorted in non-decreasing order. Find the kth smallest element in the matrix. So as the problem statement is given as, here we have a squared matrix, and we know very well about a squared matrix. A matrix whose number of rows is equal to number of columns are considered to be like a squared matrix. Okay, so here we have a squared matrix of same size of rows is equal to column, and here we have to find the kth smallest element in the matrix. Okay, so here we have a 2D matrix and the kth value at which we have to return our smallest element. Okay, so like for example, here we have an example. Here the n is equal to 4, that means the size of rows and column is 4, that means our matrix is having 4 cross 4 matrix. Okay, where the elements like this is the first row, okay, which is having the value like 16, 28, 60, 64. This is my second row, this is our third row, and this is our fourth row. Now this is our all about matrix. Now here we have given the value of case 3. So here it requires to, it basically wants to get the data or the smallest value at, we can say at the third position, or we can say at the third smallest element. Okay, so if we are going to like check inside this matrix, we find that 27 is the smallest element. Okay, the smallest element if we actually talking about the third smallest element. Okay, that means uh, above this three there's like two more smallest elements are there, but here our k value is like 3, so here we have to use return the third smallest element. Okay, so here we return simply the kth smallest element. Okay, similarly we have an example 2 here where the size of rows and column is like 4. Okay, that means 4 cross 4 matrix, and these are the elements, and it requires to get the data which is like 7th smallest element. So if we actually traversing inside a matrix and getting this 7th most smallest element, so here we get output as 30. Okay, so here the time complexity is like order of n cross log matrix of ij, and expected auxiliary space is like order of 1, and these are like company tags like Apple, like Amazon, like Samsung. Okay, and these are like topic tags. Okay, so let me solve this question. See, I think the brute force approach to solve the given problem is like, here we can simply create it like first of all vector. Okay, we can simply do it this form by using vector, where we can say that vector of int data type, and let's say I have defined as answer. Okay, then after that what we will do, I have to traverse it, but before that I have to also initialize the size. That means int n is equal to whatever is our matrix. Okay, matrix dot size. Okay, once we have like defined our size of matrix, now I can traverse. For the first thing I have to check the condition, I have to make the condition for traversing inside the row. Okay, so for int I is equal to I is less than n I plus plus, then after that what we will do, for int j is equal to again 0, that means matrix of 0 and 0, that means the first element. Okay, j is equal to 0, j is less than n, and j plus plus. Okay, so as we know very well, both is having the same number of rows and columns, so basically these are like a square matrix, so we have to traverse inside the square matrix. Now I have like used nested follow for traversing inside the 2D matrix. Now what we have to do, here we have to simply store all my 2D values to 1D vector. We can say that here we have created 1D type of vector where we have to insert all those 2D matrix data into it. Okay, so while traversing into the matrix, into the 2D matrix, or we can say 2D array, we have to simply take all those values and insert it into our 1D or just simply vector. Okay, so here answer dot push back, we have to simply insert all those values of our matrix. Okay, so here we have a matrix of I and matrix of I and j, that means, yeah, after doing this thing, that means I'm getting all those values. Okay, like if I'm talking about this example here, so I'm getting, here we have like 2D array, which is we have defined it by 2D by two big brackets. Okay, but if I created a vector here of 1D type, then while traversing it, I have just simply put all those values inside the vector. So I'm getting the values as like in just one big bracket, like 16, 28, 60, then 64, then like 22, 41, 63, then 91, 27, 50, then this thing. Okay, but the thing is that I'm not getting into the sorted manner. So first of all, what we'll do, we can simply sort our vector. Okay, in the second step, we can simply sort our vector. That means answer dot push back, or not put answer dot begin, and then answer dot end. Once I have done these things, now I have got our sorted elements inside the vector. Once we have getting the sorted vector, we can simply now return our kth smallest element. Okay, so as we know very well, our array of vector is starting from 0 base index. Okay, we're starting from 0, and they are like built on 0 base index. So we have to simply return our answer, which is our vector name, and then here we have the position k. That means our kth is smallest element, but as it is starting from 0 base index, so here it will simply return just before the previous value, so that we can get the exact kth smallest element. Okay, so let's try to compile and run. So its compilation is completed and it executes well. Let's try to submit it. So it's submitted. So yeah, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.